Welcome, welcome. Let me know if you can hear me okay. We are live for the Giftfest kickoff. All right, so full disclosure right now, I am like, I've had a week, I've had a few days. It's been one of those weeks. So my brain's not firing on all the cylinders I would like it to. So if I miss something, you have extra questions, please just feel free to comment and let me know that, you have a question and I didn't explain something clearly, because I'm in one of those days, one of those weeks. So, but I'm here, I made it. That's all that matters. All right, so I'm gonna welcome a few of you real quick. I already saw so many of you leaving sweet comments as we were waiting to kick things off. So thank you so much. That really fuels me and keeps me on point. So welcome, you guys. Oh my gosh, there's so many of you from everywhere. We've got Texas in the house, UK, and oh my gosh, the comments are about California, Florida. Hi, I'm in Florida too. Colorado, welcome everybody. Los Angeles. So all of you in California, I'm going to be in California, not next week, but the week after the end of the event. It's my second time to California, but last time I went, I was 15. I have a mastermind there that I'm going to. And so I'm like super nervous because like I usually don't travel very far. And from Florida to California, it's like a 5.5 hour flight. So I prefer my flights to be like 90 minutes or less. So it's a longer flight. All right, everybody's getting settled in. Yay, okay, alrighty. So here's what we're gonna be doing today, guys. Let me give you a quick roadmap of where we're going. First, I'll just be highlighting a few things about the Giftfest, answering any questions you guys have about the event. Feel free to leave them in the comments if there's something you're still confused about. And then we're going to be making a project as well. So we're going to be making print then cut gift tags. Oops, we got these. I have two different styles. So these are like watercolors, sort of watercolor splash with little floral graphics. Super fun. And then I have another version. It just says handmade on it. This one's just for handmade. But it's a little colorful and just fun. And if you know me, you know that I love my colors. And these are going to be available to download for free if you haven't grabbed them already. I know a lot of you have. Just go to members.abbykirstencollections.com. It'll come across the screen in just a minute here, and you'll see where to download them. I'll also share my screen with you in a few moments as we get going. In addition to showing you the print and cut process, I'm also going to show you in Design Space how you can have a pen with your Cricut machine write on the line who it's from. Because if you're like me, I don't really love my handwriting, and I love what Cricut can do, and I love Cricut writing for me. So this is going to be a lot of fun to show you that technique. All right, so let me take a breath here for a minute. Do we have any outstanding questions that you're seeing right now?
Nope, just lots of people saying hello from everywhere.
Hello from everywhere. Hello from everywhere. Welcome. I love all the different people we get. I mean, we get people from everywhere too, not just the US. Like there was UK in there, and it's a little late for Australia, but we have lots of Australians that join us too, New Zealand, even Africa and things like that. So I'm super excited. I always love hanging out with everyone globally. All right, let me go ahead and dive right in. We are going to be doing a giveaway today as well. So I am going to be giving away a Cricut Joy bundle. So it's going to be the machine, and it's going to be like some accessories and stuff like, starter vinyl and things like that. So like a material and a machine bundle. And I'm also going to be giving away some VIP passes as well. So we'll be doing that at the end. And you can enter even if you've already purchased the pass, we'll refund you. So don't worry, if you've already purchased it, you can still enter and we'll refund you. All right, like I said, brain's not all there. I'm a little slow today. So let's go ahead and get right into, I'll share my screen with you guys, okay? So we can go over the basics of Design Space. And then we'll move into how I would print and cut the project. And then we'll just chat about anything you guys have questions about, okay? Sound good? All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys here. All right, so we're gonna present, share screen. It's gonna look weird for just a minute. All right, you guys should be able to see my screen now. You'll probably still see me floating off to the side as well. All right, so I'm in Cricut Design Space here. I'm going to show you how to download and upload these files just to make sure I've covered, if you're new and you have absolutely no idea what it means to upload a file to Design Space, I've got you covered. We're going to do that right now. So as far as where to find these cute gift tag files, like I said a few minutes ago, you can go to members.abbykirstoncollections.com. And when you do, it's going to initially look like this. Everybody see anything? No major questions, right, babe? Okay, just want to make sure. Sometimes I get going really fast and I'm like, wait, I didn't share my screen. Wait, the audio didn't transfer or something like that. And everyone's like, we can't hear you. All right, so once you get to members.abbykirstoncollections.com, if you head over to the collections tab, the printable gift tags one is going to have what you're seeing here. And for the floral with the watercolor splash, for those, we actually have several different styles. So it's not just the single one you're seeing here on the cover. I just didn't list one for each. So it'd be like set of 11, set of 10. This one's a happy birthday, a thank you, handmade with love, and then this one's just handmade with love, and it comes in 4 different color options. So you would just click on any one of these. If you're not signed in, if you don't have an account with us yet, I am currently signed in, what you're seeing on my screen. So it'll say, get started with freebies. You're going to need to just create an account with us, okay? And if you want to do this later and just observe now, that's perfectly fine. For those of you who already have an account, which I know is a lot of you, you'll just go ahead and log in, start downloading. You can download all the files here. That's going to download as a zip file. So if you're like, I'm on a mobile device, or zip is like, what does that mean? You're speaking Greek to me, then just download the individual image files right here, okay? You can click on any one of them to download them. And we also have a PDF included. So if any of you have maybe kids or grandkids and you want to just print something out on a PDF and have them have fun cutting the tags out, you can do that too. So for example, say here, I'm just going to click this top one and download it. I'll just save it to my desktop. And there we go. There is one that we've downloaded right there. Now that we've downloaded it, we need to upload it to Cricut. So when you download, for a lot of you, it'll probably go to your downloads folder. I saved mine to my desktop. I had my computer set up so that it asks me, where do you want to save it to? But often it goes to downloads folders. So check that if you're unsure of where your file is. Let me take a breath and make sure we don't have any outstanding questions. All good? My husband is monitoring over here. See, I wasn't with it today. I always introduce my husband who's behind the scenes. He's the guy behind the scenes. We are a family-owned business. So my husband works full-time with me here. So every time you guys show up and support us in any way or share, you're supporting us and our family. So thank you so much. So I always like to give shout out and credit. And sometimes I forget, but he's over there monitoring for comments and questions. Okay, so let's head over to Design Space where we just were. If you, hang on, I'd like to move here. If you log in and you're like on the home screen, which is going to look something like this probably, you can click on New Project to open up a fresh new canvas, or you can just toggle over to Canvas at the top left-hand side if you wish as well, which is what I'm going to do because I already have a project open. So it's allowing me to just toggle right over to the project that I have open. So we're going to need to upload our file. So the important part about this file that we're downloading from, in my case, the Craft Vault, from the Craft Vault, it's a PNG image. It's a flattened pixel-based image like a photograph would be off of your phone, okay? It's not a layered SVG image. A layered SVG is scalable vector graphic, and that's for if you're cutting something out in vinyl, paper, iron-on, and maybe you're stacking layers together, right, to create a final result. But the format we downloaded just a moment ago was for an image-based project that you would use for print then cut. So if you guys have questions about print and cut, please go ahead and leave them right now. That way I can make sure I'm being clear as I walk through this process and no one's feeling lost, okay? So I'm going to start walking through this. I'll pause and I'll review for questions in a few minutes. To upload a file to Design Space, you're going to visit the upload button over in the design panel to your left-hand side. Right now it's towards the bottom. Sometimes they sort of shift these. So you're going to click on that and you'll see another option here that says upload image. It's a green button. You'll click on that. So here we can drag and drop the file, or we can click browse and then it'll open our file finder and we'll locate it wherever we saved it, downloads folder, desktop, wherever you saved it, and then you can pull it in. I like to just drag and drop. I feel like that's easier. So here's my file finder open, and here's the one we just downloaded. So I'm just going to drag it over within this box, and we're going to get a preview here. Always be cautious when you're looking at these previews, guys. Sometimes they look grainy, sometimes they're cut off. Never judge an image by its preview. Always bring it all the way in to Design Space before you're, wonder if there's something wrong with the file, okay? So we're going to click Continue at the bottom. Now we're going to get another screen here. This screen has lots of different options, of which I will not get into today because we would be here for an additional hour. But if you need to ever remove a background, this is a great place to do that. It defaults to the selector tool that you're seeing here, this little plus icon. It's very tiny on my screen. But if there was a background to this, perhaps I wanted to select that to get rid of it, I could. But because this file is prepped for you, you don't have to do anything. So you're just going to hit Apply and Continue. Okay, so now we have three options. Cricut recently came out with the multi-layer option, which is basically taking this from the blended image to multiple layers like an SVG, but it's still in beta mode. As you can see, it's not really creating a great result here because of that watercolor splash, and I haven't gone in and edited anything on that. So obviously we're not doing that. The single layer would be just the silhouette. So we're seeing just the outline of the tag there. That's not what we want. We want the flat graphic here. So for print and cut, always select the flat graphic, okay?
And that's a PNG, correct?
Yep, it's a PNG image. You can also use JPEG images, okay? So they're gonna behave the same way. If your format, let's say you're using a different file than mine and you're applying the principles I'm teaching you here, JPEGs and PNG image formats are going to operate the same way in Cricut Design Space. The difference between a JPEG and a PNG is that PNG images are the higher resolution, better quality image. JPEGs are more compressed files and therefore can sometimes be lower quality depending on how they're saved or where you're getting them from. So if you have an option, opt for the PNG, which is what I'm providing for you here. So any other questions I need to address before I keep going?
Well, I answered one, but somebody was asking print and cut on the Cricut Joy.
You can do print and cut on the Cricut Joy Extra, not on the original Joy. They did not build the original Joy with a sensor for that. Now, if you go and you look on YouTube, there are some hacks and workarounds out there. I have not personally tested them. Cricut doesn't recommend them. You're welcome to explore that if you like. But no, the original Joy is not going to do print and cut. All the other machines do. I kind of wish they would have done that, but I understand why they didn't, because the Joy is meant to be compact, and having a sensor that has to get built in for reading registration marks to be able to perform print and cut requires more equipment and everything to be, again, brain's not all here today, whatever we would call that. So extra mechanisms to be built in. So we're going to click on flat graphic, okay? That's what we want. It's pretty easy to recognize because we can see all the pretty colors, right? It looks like the image we downloaded. So we're going to click continue. And then this screen here, it's just if you want to give your image a different name over here on the left-hand side, you can give the image a different name. Did you have to bring the puppy up?
She was whining.
Oh, was that her?
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's introduce her then, because if she's gonna interrupt you, we have to say hi. This is Liberty, for those of you who haven't met her. She is the world's biggest baby. We're on our second story right now, and if she doesn't come up here with us, she's like literally whines and cries at the bottom of the stairs. So Mike had to step out to go bring her up. She wants to be included. You are such a distraction. You're not here to see you though. Okay. All right. So sit down, Libby.
Sit.
I told you guys it's going to be real raw today. Here's real and raw. Okay. So image name here, image details. If you want to rename it, go ahead. I usually leave it at the default. If you want to add it to like a folder or collection, by all means. Otherwise, just click upload at the bottom corner. And it's going to drop into the canvas here in just a minute. Now, often with PNGs especially, sometimes not as much with JPEGs, but especially with PNGs, they're going to come in at kind of whatever size it wants to come in at, usually way too big, like you're seeing here. So you're going to need to determine what scale you want to set this to, okay? So gift tags can also often be somewhere between 3 and maybe 4 inches, something like that. So just think about that. If you have a measuring tape on hand, maybe kind of just get perspective of what that would look like for like the length side of it, and then we'll set the scale. Is there any questions?
It does not look like it. You answered.
Have you answered most of them?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Make sure you're not glossing over anything. I know the comments are moving fast. But...
Oh, can the single layer be used to put your own floral graphic that was different than yours? Is a question.
Oh, so like replacing the floral graphic?
That sounds like the question. Yeah.
The floral graphic. Okay, so if you wanted to like bring in a different floral graphic, I suppose you could cover that and then like use the flatten tool at the bottom of the layers panel to flatten it. But I don't actually have in the downloads, you're not going to find tags that are blank per se. I do have some blanks that don't have the text on it, so you can fill out your own text. But as far as the floral graphic you're seeing here, those are on all of them. But if you wanted to find a different, like just blank gift tag in Design Space or somewhere else, and then you wanted to pull that gift tag in with a different floral graphic, you could use the flatten tool, the bottom of the layers panel, to flatten those layers together and make a print and cut tag that way.
And then how often should you calibrate for print and cut?
That's an amazing question. And here's my not so amazing answer. As often as it needs it. And you're going to be like, what the heck does that mean? Well, when Design Space does updates, I have calibrated my machine. I haven't calibrated this machine in a while, so it actually wasn't cutting very accurately the other day. But when Design Space does updates, often they will have things in the system that will make you need to recalibrate. And the reason you know you'll need to calibrate, if you've already gone through the process of printing and cutting, it may not be cut very cleanly. Like part of the image might get cut off. It's not cutting where it's supposed to around the image. If you've never calibrated before, then you absolutely do need to calibrate. Okay, so I'll show you how to do that in just a minute after we set our scale. And if you look in the video description beneath this YouTube video, there is a link and it says calibration for print and cut. Next to it is a link to my site. There is an in-depth blog post on that. It'll walk you through, so you can do that before you go back and like rewatch this replay and try to follow along, okay? So we'll talk more about calibration in just a second. I'll show you that. So to scale this, we have our design, right? I scaled mine to, as you can see here, just under 4.5 inches tall. But again, do what's right for you. So I might just select this and come up here to the size right at the top menu here, and I could just put like 4.45 and hit enter, and it's going to adjust that, okay? If you come to any one of these corners, this is a transformation box, so if you come to any one of these corners and you click, hold, and drag, you can also scale like this. But if you're wanting to be precise, like if I'm trying to match this to my other ones on my screen, I'm going to then type it in, hit enter, make sure that lock icon is closed so it doesn't stretch the image. Usually it's the default, so it shouldn't be a problem. And then decide on what your scale is. So, anything else before I keep going?
Nope, I got it.
All right. So to answer your question on calibration, again, there is a link in the video description that'll walk you through it. But if you want to know where to find the calibration, it's under your settings. This is your profile. Click settings, and then you would come over to machines, and you would perform the calibration here, okay? You would select your device, and it would prompt you, and there's more information in the video description, okay? So if you ever notice that your machine just isn't cutting accurately anymore and you've already calibrated it, it's probably time to calibrate it again. I know it's annoying. I get it. Believe me. It's just part of the process. Try to embrace it as part of the process, and it'll feel a little less annoying. All right, so since I already have a copy of this one, I'm just going to hide it over here in my layers panel. Excuse you, what are you doing? You are being so disruptive. She's over here trying to like claw at the cord, like, everybody go away. Actually, I take that back. I'm going to undo that because I realize I'm skipping an entire step. My brain is completely squirreling today. Okay, so next step is if you would like to add writing to your gift tag with a Cricut pen, I'm going to show you how to do that here in Design Space, okay? Anything I need to address before I go into this section?
There are a few people saying Liberty wants some more screen time. That's what she's.
Oh, Liberty wants more screen time. Okay, so at the end, we'll let Liberty have more screen time. Yeah, she is being a little needy girl today. Okay, so we're gonna keep going here. She's also, you guys, she's a Frenchie. I know some of you know this. Snores so bad, snorts. So if she falls asleep over there, you're gonna hear it. It's not me falling asleep on you. It's not my husband falling asleep on you. It is the dog. All right, so let's say I want to add some writing to this tag. I want to write my name down here, okay? I'm gonna grab the text tool over in the design panel. So this tool right here, it's two above the upload one. And it's gonna put some text on my screen. So let me just bring this over here. It's a little easier to see. All right, yep, you can hear the snoring. So in order to edit our text, we're going to double click to get the cursor. If you click off, you're going to get the transformation box, which allows you to scale larger or smaller, okay? So if you want to be able to edit the text, you double click in it. Now it has to be like you just put the text on the screen. If you've made any additional changes, like later on you went and you sliced it out from something or whatever, you're not going to be able to go back and edit that text after you've taken additional steps on it. But right now, because we just added the text and it's in text mode, we double click, we put our cursor in there, and now we can type out what we want. So for me, I'm just gonna type out my name, Abby. And right now we have the default text, or it might default to the last text you used if you've had Design Space open already. So with this text selected here, we can see along the top that another menu was revealed. This is like the font menu. I just call it font menu. I don't know if that's technically right, but you guys know what I'm referring to. So over here we have font, okay? And if you click on that, you can then go through all of the fonts. You can go through Cricut's fonts, any fonts you've installed, things that you've saved and bookmarked, all of that. Now here's the catch. If you're wanting to write with your Cricut machine, using system fonts at this time, in most cases, is not going to be the thing you want to do. And the reason for that, let me show you. For example, I love this Wildflower font, which I downloaded to my computer, and now it's available here in Design Space. If I wanted to use this pretty script font to write with my Cricut, it's going to create bubble letters. So I'm going to show you that, and then I'm going to show you the right way to do it so you can see the before and after. So this is a system font, my font. Liberty, shh. She is over there snoring so badly. So here is the font result. Here we've changed it. The text has changed to reflect that font, okay? So this is still a basic cut. What does that mean? A basic cut means it is literally going to cut around the A, the B, the I, okay? It's not going to write with a pen because under operation, it still says basic cut. It doesn't say pen, okay? So that's the first way you can get it into like pen mode. The second way you can do it is under style here. There's different options usually. It says regular like it is now, or it'll say writing, or it'll say writing bold. It'll say different variations. The catch is when you're using a system font, not a Cricut font, you don't have the option to do a writing style, which lets you actually have Cricut write like you'd be writing with your hand. As you can see here, I don't have the writing style option. I can still change it to the pen operation, but as a result, I'm getting these sort of ugly bubble letters, okay? It's an outline. It's not written like it would be with my hand, okay? And let me show you a contrast now of that. I'm gonna grab the text tool here and we'll type my name as the dog snores. Can you guys hear that? Like seriously, can you guys hear the dog snoring? Can you hear? I never know how much can be picked up on, but I have like a mic right here. It's like a conference mic, so I can be heard from a distance. And she's about the same distance that I am, so I'm assuming that you guys can hear that. You are obnoxious, Liberty. Yes, obnoxious.
Somebody was asking, can you upload all of the fonts, all of the files at once? Will Design Space allow you to do it, or do you have to do it individually?
You have to do it individually. So I have been hoping, praying, and crossing all fingers and toes for the longest time that Design Space will come out with a multi-upload or a bulk upload feature. I really hope they do. They've made some improvements to the upload process recently. So if I'm going to make an educated guess based on my 13 years working with Cricut, I would say probably in the near future, I'd be willing to bet they'll probably end up doing some bulk upload. That's all in how they design their software. So I hope they do, but right now they don't. Okay, good to keep going for right now. All right.
Oh, and what type of paper are you using?
We'll get to all that in just a minute. Let me finish the Design Space setup and I'll go over paper and supplies and all that stuff so you guys don't feel lost. I kind of have to like go in a certain system where I feel like I'm going back and forth all the time, and then everyone's like, wait, you didn't finish talking about the other thing. And then I forget, and then everyone's really confused. Okay. So we have our first result, right? Outline, because it's a system font, something we installed. So it's defaulting to the font I had a minute ago. I need to go back up to the font selection here. And this time we're going to click on Cricut. These are Cricut's actual fonts. Now, they do have free options. So I'm going to demonstrate with free option. That way, if you're not an Access subscriber, you don't have to be in order to follow this process. Okay, because I know that's a lot of us. So clicking on the Cricut option, this little filter tool right here, if you click on that, you want to select writing. And then you can select free to filter by what is available for free. Now, in case you're watching this video way in the future, they do change out what's free, sometimes week to week, month to month. So you may see different options, okay? So I have filtered by writing and free. I'm under Cricut. And here are our options. There's still plenty of things to pick from. I like this one right here. It's a simple script, and it's somewhat similar to what we were working with. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, and when I do, we're going to see this result. Now, let me actually, no, I'm going to do something really quick, guys. Like, bear with me, and you're going to see exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because when you add your text to the screen, okay, when you add your text to the screen, it's going to look like this. Remember when we started a minute ago? It looks like this. So let's pretend you're starting from there, because what I just did a minute ago when I added that second piece of text, it was starting from the edits I had already made. It was defaulting to the other text. It was defaulting to the writing style. So I don't want to assume you're in that same position. Let's assume you're in the position that you probably will be, and that's the default that it presents itself as on the screen, like you're seeing right now. So starting from there again, I would double click in here. I told you it was going to be a fun roller coaster today. Double click, we'll type my name. We're still in basic cut, we're in regular. So we need to change this to a writing font. So like I just showed you a minute ago, we'll go here, we'll go to Cricut. We will filter by, let's get rid of that. There we go, it should update, there we go. Writing free. It's not showing my font, the font again that we were looking for. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. Now we can select that, and now it changes. So I guess it did the same thing. My fear was that it wasn't going to actually show the part of changing it from the style. So if you do need to change the style and you were to go to like regular, you're going to get that bubble letter. See how it looks different? But if you actually change the style to writing, which is available only with Cricut fonts, not system fonts at this time, you're going to get that actual writing. It's like if you're writing with your hand. All right, so I'm going to pause there for a minute because I don't know if I just said that completely wrong and everyone's like, wait, I'm so confused. What questions do we have? None really? Okay. Okay, I hope that makes sense.
Everyone's saying that they have dogs and cats that snore too, so.
Okay, good, great. So I'm in good company, great. All right, so that's how I would put a writing font on my screen, okay? Now, if you want to stick with your own fonts or you can't find a free one you like, you can still absolutely do this. Just know it's going to look a little different. Or you can skip this altogether and just write with your hand. Maybe you like your handwriting. Lucky you, I don't like mine. So I'm going to go ahead and hide these. I'm just going to group them and hide them over here just in case I need to bring them back for reference. So here's our tag that we started with. We uploaded it. And now we're going to bring this over here and scale this down. So I'm going to zoom in. And I'm going to come to one of these corners here. Any of them works, just the corner. Click, hold, and drag. And we're going to scale that down. and just find a spot that feels good to you. Like that isn't, there we go. That looks a little better. Yep, okay. Let me zoom out here and see how that looks. So I don't know if this bothers you at all, but it bothers me. Sorry, I got something on my face. Like when I'm working with something that's white, like the back of these gift tags, I don't feel like I can see what's happening. And it's because the canvas is white. So it's white on white, and it's like there's no contrast for our eye. So here's a little trick for you. At the bottom of the layers panel here, or almost the bottom of the layers panel, you'll see it says blank canvas. If you click on that, you're going to get this menu up here. It's going to change. And you're going to see this little color icon. It's currently white. And if you want to change that to a different color like gray, now the canvas is a different color and you can see the contrast, which helps me a lot in these situations. So seriously, like years passed before I even realized that tool was there. And then once I realized it was there, I was like, this is the best thing ever. How did I not know this? So I've been happy with that ever since I found out about that. And I love sharing that tip. So use that tip if that helps you. Okay. Any questions before I keep going?
Nope.
All right. So now we have our writing. Now we have our tag. The last step we have to do here before we can go any further is we must use the attach tool to hold the writing, the pen line in this case, to the gift tag. If we do not do that, it's going to put the my name, Abby, it's going to put it on a separate mat, and it's going to put the gift tag on a separate mat. Okay? I hope maybe in the future they come out with like an automatic feature for that. But at this time, you're going to need to use the attach tool. So all that looks like is we have the gift tag, we have the name. You can click and drag over both of them. You'll know both are selected if you look in your layers panel to your right-hand side. We see my name. It's a draw line, also known as a pen line. It's selected. And then we see the floral gift tag is also selected, okay? If it helps you and you're on a computer, you can also hold your Shift T, oh my gosh, did I just say that? Shift key, excuse me. Shift key, you can hold your Shift key, and while your Shift key is being held, you can click on anything in the layers panel to sort of cherry pick the selection, okay? In this case, it's easy, it's just to click and drag like that.
Changing the colors in the print for the file.
Yeah.
You'd have to do that in like Inkscape. You can't do it in Design Space.
So the way you would change colors in Design Space is you would have to bring in a layered SVG, and then you would have to change the colors from the layered SVG and then flatten everything together. Okay. I did not provide layered SVGs for this because they are very blended. Like this is getting into like the weeds bit, but what you're seeing specifically for like this tag here, okay? When I created these tags, the background water splash you're seeing and the floral graphic you're seeing, those were images that I designed, and then I exported them as PNG images, and then I brought all the PNG images together to create this final result. So you would literally have to like edit not just the tag, but actually like the images within the tag. And at this time, this is not something that I have, but check out the full download options because there's lots of different color combinations in there. This is just one example here, okay? Now, if you do have access to an SVG file from Design Space, somewhere else that you downloaded something or bought something, and you can bring that SVG file in, you can make changes to that. So I would have to kind of like bring a file in and show you how to do that. But if I'm going to keep it really simple, the layered SVG file, let's just say, just to give you a really practical example of how you would do this, let's pretend this is a gift tag and we're cutting this out. Okay, this is just a square. Over here, it's a square. But if we have the layers selected and there's multiple layers over here for our tag or whatever, and they're all in different colors, we would select each layer and come up to this color swatch tool and click on advanced, and then you can put any color of the rainbow you want for each layer, okay? And you can make changes that way. But these files, these gift tags that I'm giving you, they don't have layers. They're pixel-based PNG images. All the colors are blended together. You bring in a layered SVG, you can then change by layer, and then you would just want to flatten using the flatten tool at the bottom of the layers panel, flatten all the layers together once you're happy with the colors, and then you'll be able to proceed with print and cut. I know that's a mouthful. If I went through demonstrating all that now, we would really be getting off topic, but I'd be happy to make a video about that and put it up on my YouTube channel. so that you can follow that along as well. I'll do that at a separate time if that helps people. Okay. All right, cool. So let's keep going. So back to attach tool. We're going to click and drag over these. We have the draw. We have the floral gift tag. Attach is at the bottom of the layers panel. So I'm going to click on that. Liberty agrees. And we're going to click on that. And now when we look in the layers panel, we see the action we just took reflected. It says attach, right? And if we click on this little arrow next to the word attach, we can see what's been attached. The writing and the tag are now attached together. And by having these attached, it guarantees that Cricut will actually write my name where you see it on the tag. It's not going to separate them out, which is something we do not want to happen, okay? The very last thing before we would cut these out would be think about, bringing in other designs, maximizing your surface area for when you're printing. So for me, the max number I can fit on my paper, and we'll go over supplies in a minute, but the max number I can fit is 4, okay? So I would maybe think about, if I want to have a bunch of these on hand, I could right click and I could duplicate, and then I can click and drag over both of them and then duplicate and kind of get them kind of close in there. It's another reason I like changing the canvas colors, because I can see like how close can I get that in there to maximize my space. Okay, so I have 4 there, and if I click and drag over these, I can see the scale there is about 9 by 6. One thing with print and cut that I find helpful is sometimes Cricut will jumble things up, and it won't always maximize the surface area that it's being printed onto, your like cardstock or your 8.5 by 11. So if you use the attach tool to hold placement, so actually keeping the placement of what we're seeing here on our screen, and it's not going to shuffle it when we go to the cut screen, that can be very helpful as well. So in this case, I have selected all 4 of these, and you could attach a second time. And now we have all 4 of those tags attached together, which guarantees that Cricut is going to put all 4 of those on this sheet as long as it fits within the surface area that this sheet can handle or what your printer can handle, okay? I know it's a lot of information with print and cut. Like once you get it, you get it. But when you're new to it, it is like so confusing. I totally understand. You guys want to hear how silly it was for me 13 years ago when I started? When I first got the very first 6.4 that came out and it did the print and cut option, I legit printed an image out from my printer, okay? Not through Design Space, just, hey, look, an image from my printer. And I put it on my Cricut machine. And I was like, cut it. No registration marks, nothing at all. I didn't even know. And I thought it was just supposed to know where to cut on the paper without black registration marks going around the screen or printing through Design Space. And if you don't know what I'm saying, you will in a minute. But it was so funny because I would just sit there and I would watch it. And I would be like, why isn't it working? Why is this not working? This machine is broken. And then I realized, no, I did not understand what I was doing. So that was 13 years ago, Abby. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get these out, and let me pause to see if we have any questions before I keep going. I know the comments. If we missed a question, guys, we will go back and try to answer it. Please know we're not doing it intentionally. Sometimes the comments move very quickly on our end, and it's hard. Sometimes we'll miss something by accident.
Somebody is asking, can you make the writing thicker to match the writing that's already on the tag?
So let me say that I get exactly what you're saying. I really do. The representation of what you see here in Design Space isn't necessarily a reflection of the final result. And I know that's annoying. I wish we could have it be perfect. But if you can see this, let me make sure if I can try to pull this in a little closer for you guys. I'm going to unshare my screen for just a minute. See if you can see this. See my name there? That's how that's going to look when all is said and done. Because the thickness in this case is not necessarily determined by what you're seeing in Design Space. It is determined by the tip of your pen. Are you using a fatter marker? Are you using a gel pen? Are you using a calligraphy pen? That's where the thickness is really going to be translated that much more. So I would advise try it before you decide to think of using a different font or using a hack to thicken something, because once it's actually written, it's every bit as thick, almost thicker than the one at the top, okay? So I'll show you that as we go here. Did that answer that question?
Yes, it did.
Okay, yay. Okay, let me go back to my screen real quick. And, okay. All right, so
I'm sorry, there is one more.
Yeah.
Does everything have to be flattened before you do the print and cut?
The objects all have to be flattened, yes. Like you don't have to flatten like the whole set that you're seeing here that I just attached together, the set of 4. You don't have to flatten the set of 4 together. You just want to make sure that each gift tag is flattened if you're using a layered SVG file. If you are pulling in the PNG image that I have provided for you, you do not need to flatten. It is already ready to go. The flatten tool is used to turn a layered SVG into a print and cut. Let me detach this real quick here to show you. Okay. Your layers panel, that's this panel to your right-hand side, always will give you answers to those types of questions. So if I select this one that's on my screen, Handmade with Love, and we look over here, do you see where the tag is, the representation of the tag where my mouse is moving? It says print then cut. It's telling you it's already in print and cut. So if it says print and cut, you don't have to actually flatten. Now, if this was a layered SVG that I brought in and it had all these layers, which you would see stacked in the layers panel, it would say basic cut, basic cut, basic cut. You'd want to flatten them together using the flatten tool to turn it into a print and cut. Okay, so that's just a tool to be able to translate layers into single print and cut. It does not work in the reverse. So I just want to say that because I thought that too when I was a beginner. You can't bring in a print and cut like you're seeing here and then somehow hit unflatten and it makes all of these layers. You need like a graphic software to do that. Like I teach in Inkscape and things like that. So that's a separate conversation. But I hope that answered your question.
And then I guess it was more along the lines of writing the name. Does that have to be flattened?
The writing is the pen operation. Okay. So look in the layers panel here. You see where it says draw. Draw and pen operations are interchangeable language here. So I've attached them together by using the attach tool like you see reflected in my layers panel. That is holding the placement of where the pen will be written on the tag. Okay, you do have to use the attach tool, but you're not using the attach tool to flatten the pen to the tag. So that sounds like maybe what you were thinking. Yes. You don't have to use the flatten tool. That's just for flattening layers, not for flattening pen or draw operations to things. Use the attach tool for that instead. Okay. I know it's a lot because you think, oh, that kind of sounds similar, but it's kind of different. And I get it. It can be a little overwhelming if you're a beginner. Take a breath. Don't try to be following me along right now. If you're not comfortable in this, come back and rewatch it. Okay. That's what I call the now and later technique that I teach all of my people in the community. You watch now, you observe now, and then later you come back and you follow along again. Works so much better. Trust me. All right. So make sure you save your project too. Update the save or hit save as and give it a name. Okay. And then you can click make it and make sure you select your machine model too. Mine's Maker 3, but again, anything except the original Joy, you can do print and cut. I know, right, Liberty? I'm going to click on the make button there and we're going to get a preview. It's also going to show you in the preview, look at the left-hand side where the little tiny thumbnail of the mat is. It says print then cut, it says cut, and then it says pen. So I'm sorry, it says print then cut, it says pen. Not print, not then cut. Print then cut and pen. So that means we're going to print it off. Then it's going to write with a pen. Okay, we're going to walk through that next. Let's go ahead and we'll do this one that has all the different color font. Okay, so I'm going to select this mat. That's the one I want to do. I'm going to click continue. Okay, make sure your machine is powered on and near you. If you plug in with the cord, the USB cable, go ahead and plug in now. Otherwise, if you're Bluetooth connected in your settings on your computer or device, make sure it's connected. And then I'm going to select Maker 3. That is what I am using back here. And then you're going to need to send this to your printer. So I know we're going to get some questions here about printers. So to be super clear, you need an inkjet printer, okay? Your Cricut, if you're a beginner watching this, your Cricut does not have ink in it. It doesn't literally print anything. Your printer does the printing. Your Cricut does the cutting. So print thin cut, okay? Wow, they are making a lot of noise for a Sunday. We have construction outside our house, and they're finally laying all the sod for everything they tore up. And there's just massive tractor trailers of sod outside, and we're getting an annoying beeping sound. Oh, hello, Miss Ella. Say hi to everybody. Lots of people walking. This is Christabella, my daughter. She is very crafty too. We are almost done with the screen share, baby. You've been so patient. Okay, so give me just another minute, all right? Liberty. Welcome to our circus. So we're gonna go ahead and click send to printer. Now I am using 8.5 by 11 letter size, medium weight cardstock. My printer can handle this. So do make sure that you're being mindful of what your printer can and cannot handle. If your printer can handle larger paper, like tabloid size, legal size, you can change the size of the paper if you're wanting things to be bigger. You would do that under your settings, okay? So if you go back to the Design Space canvas and you click on your profile where we were earlier for calibration, you will find that under your settings. You can select the different size paper there, okay? So to answer that earlier question, medium weight, 65-pound, white cardstock, okay? You can use other paper if you're like, I don't have a printer that can handle that. Maybe you can get a lighter weight cardstock. It's like the 50-pound. You could even try copy paper. So don't be afraid to experiment with it, even if you're just wanting to play around. But that's what I am using, okay? And we're gonna need to send this to our printer. So I'm gonna click send to printer. I'm gonna get a pop-up, a print setup pop-up here. You're making the dog squeak more. I know you love her, but does anyone else have a partner or a husband who's like they seem like the toughest guy in the world or whatever, but when it comes to like their fur babies, it's like they're all, yeah, that's my husband. I'm telling on him. All right, so you'll want to select your printer here, okay? So this is the printer I use. I do have recommended printers on my site. If you go to abbypearsoncollections.com, type in the keyword best printer for Cricut, I do have recommendations there. There are plenty of affordable options. So if you're like, I don't have hundreds of dollars to spend on a printer, there's some as cheap as like $80 on there, okay? And I know that's not for everybody still, but there's still very affordable options out there that will allow you to perform this process, okay?
I already have the link. It's going into the chat.
Yay! Everybody give my husband a round of applause. All right. So here's a couple things about this box. You can change the number of copies here if you would like. This feature, add bleed, leave it on. 99.9% of the cases, you're gonna leave this on. What add bleed means is it is literally adding a little bit of extra color around the entire outer edge of the design so that when it cuts, it is edge to edge color. There's not a thin white border going around it or something like that, okay? So 99.9% of the time, leave that alone, okay? And then system dialog. You can just hit print as it is here. I always toggle on system dialog, and that allows me to make certain selections about my printer's dialog box, like where do I want the paper feeding from, my rear tray or my bottom tray? What quality do I want? Do I want best quality or do I want normal print quality? So by toggling this on, it's giving me those options, okay? Any questions before I keep going?
Not at this moment.
Not at this moment. Okay, I hope that means this is making sense. So I'm gonna click print, and this is what's gonna happen. You're gonna be like, what's happening? Well, I selected the system dialog option, which means that just popped up, but it popped up behind the design space window. So you need to minimize design space, okay? And here is my printer dialog box, okay? So if we want to, yours is gonna look different. So let me say that, yours is gonna look different, okay? I'm just showing you what I do on mine. I will select media and quality, and I wanna feed this from my rear tray, and I want it to be best quality, okay? Again, yours is gonna look different. So please refer to your printer manual and guide for that, because I can't specify for all the different printers out there. It might look a little different. But that's the purpose as to why I toggle on the system dialog, okay? Now I'm gonna print this, but I need to plug in my printer because even though my husband said, you're connected wirelessly, it never prints. It says, you're connected, and it's like, nope, you're not connected because nothing's coming out of the printer. So I'm going to go ahead and print this. I'll swing you over this way, kind of makeshifting this as we go. Again, white cardstock. So let me stop sharing my screen here. Okay. And I'll be clicking print in just a minute. Let me move you guys this way. My messy closet, my son's transformer. There's my printer. There we go. There is my printer. Okay.
Oh, now you're putting me on camera? I'm
Yeah.
not dressed.
You're fine. You're fine. Okay, so for me, I have the rear tray. So I'm gonna put my cardstock back here. All right. And let me pull this out. Okay. And I'm gonna hit print now. All right. Yep. Okay, so here, I'll put myself over here. It's printing. You can sort of see, you can see my hands. Wait. There. I can't see if I'm on camera, but I will in a minute.
Yep, you are.
I am now.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, I am. Yay! Here we go. All right. One of these days we'll have like triple cameras set up where we can literally toggle from all these different angles. That would be great. So this is printing out through my inkjet printer, okay? So we're just gonna give that a second. And my printer is taking its sweet ass time. Yeah. Anybody else's printer do this? I think it's a printer thing. We have AI and all this stuff, but we have printers that sit here and just take forever, right? They're just like, yeah, let me get out of the way here, guys. Sorry. All right, so you get the general idea, right? We're printing. It's going to take its time printing, but it's printing. Once it is printed, this is the other tag, but once it's printed, you're going to have a sheet that looks like this, your result, and black registration marks. Remember my story from earlier where the non-experienced Cricut version of me from 13 years ago was like, let's print something off the internet and stick it on a mat. Yep. You must print through Cricut Design Space because your Cricut needs to read these registration marks. If it doesn't have these, it doesn't know where to cut. Okay? That's that super important piece of fine print. It's printed. Yeah. I did select best quality too, so it's like taking its time. And the printer I have, guys, it's a Canon, I don't know which model. It's one of the older Canons. It's not like super new. They make improved versions of this, so maybe they work faster. I don't know. Mine's probably a little old. Don't touch it, honey. Don't touch it. You gotta wait for it to come out on its own. So we're gonna be putting this on the mat in just a minute. I'm gonna wait for the one that we've been demonstrating with. But in the meantime, while that is coming out, you are going to want to have a mat. So you can use the light grip mat, the blue one, or you can use the green. This is my well-worn green one we're going to use today. Okay. And I recommend also having a brayer tool on hand to press the material, the paper, cardstock to the mat, smooth it out, all that good stuff. You may bring it over now, sweetheart. Now let me unplug this here so you don't trip on the cord. So pretty. Okay. All right, so here's our result that we just printed. See, we got those registration marks. Those would not be there if we didn't print through the Cricut Design Space interface. So I'm gonna bring you guys down here in just a second. So you can see me place it onto the mat with my computer. Out of the way over here. What questions do we have?
Does bleed make a mess when the outer colors are dark?
I have not experienced that. So in my experience, I will say no. If you're talking about the ad bleed, the actual setting, don't think of it as like where there's too much ink on the paper or it's not absorbing and it's smearing. Don't think of it like that. And I know that's easy to think of it like that. It's just adding some extra color around the edges so that it's edge to edge color when it cuts. It's not actually oversaturating it or anything like that, if that makes sense. So you want to do this, Miss Ella? You're going to line it up at the corner. Very nice. Top corner of the mat. Let me know if there's any questions. What's wrong? Oh, I know, it's super annoying. And it's Sunday. Like, I don't know why they're out there on a Sunday. 18 months of this construction, guys. 18 months. Yeah. It's not fun. They're switching us from septic to sewer. And so our entire neighborhood had to undergo that change. And they've taken to working on Saturdays and Sundays as well. So we have construction noise like literally 24/7. It's not fun. All right. So what are you doing, Ella? Did you explain what you were doing? But why don't you try explaining? No? Okay. So you demonstrate again. I'll explain. She's using the brayer tool to press the material to the mat. This really helps, especially if your mat is well worn. Just guarantees that it's going to stay nice and flat. It's stuck to the surface evenly. It helps minimize tearing and that kind of stuff. Okay. Are we having audio issues?
Somebody's saying they can't hear, but it sounds fine on my computer.
Okay. Well, someone said we had audio issues, but I'm not, like, we're hearing ourselves on this end. So if that is a problem, please let me know. But all right. So we are going to add this to our machine now. I'm going to reshare my screen because you're going to have to actually know what settings to set before you can go any further. She's getting more FaceTime, everybody. Say hi, Liberty, again. All right. You're distracting Ella. They want to learn. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So back in design space here. Okay. It might give you like a verify print quality pop-up. This is relatively new. I'm going to click done. Okay. And I am going to be using the medium cardstock setting. So if you don't see it on your screen, click browse all material, type in the word cardstock. You leaving? Okay. Bye-bye. I love you.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Okay. Are you going to do the giveaways though?
Yes.
Okay. We'll call you back for that. Thank you. So here are all the cardstock options. You can see here I have like the medium cardstock option, and we would just click on that, hit done. Okay, so base material is set. Now Cricut's also giving us instructions here. Load tools and material. We need to load our pen into clamp A. We need to make sure that our fine point blade is in clamp B, which it by default should be unless you've swapped out for a different tool. And then we will load our mat. So let's talk about the pen real quick here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Okay, so let's talk about the pen. I like the Cricut, what do they call it? I call them the Cricut gel pens, but I don't think that's correct. It's just the black tip, the 0.4 tip black, okay? Just the Cricut pen. It looks like this. That's my favorite for just simple basic writing, okay? They do make calligraphy pens. They do make like markers. There are some off-brand Cricut pens you can use as well. There are pen adapters you can get to use other types of pens as well with your Cricut, but I am just using a very simple 0.4 tip black for today's example, okay? So you're gonna pull a cap off and put it on the other end, expose the tip of your pen, okay? And I apologize, this is not a little closer, but I'm working between two surfaces here. You have two clamps in your Cricut. You have clamp A, you have clamp B. Clamp B is where your blades live, your fine point blade, if you use a different type of blade with your machine. So your fine point blade should be in there right now. Clamp A is where you put pens or scoring stylus. We're using a pen in this case, all right? So we're gonna open clamp A, it just switches out, real nice and easy. Look for an arrow on your pen, and you're gonna place it with the tip down until the arrow disappears. So push it in until the arrow disappears. You'll hear it sort of click, and then close the clamp over it. You'll know it's secure if you can gently wiggle it and it's not lifting out, okay? That's all there is to it. Super simple, right? Any questions?
Nope.
All right. Now we have our mat. Okay, we have our printed cut added. It's got our registration marks on it. I'm going to press this against the roller, putting the mat edges underneath the tiny white guides on the machine. We're pressing it against the rollers, and we see, since we have our material selected in Design Space, we're getting a flashing double arrow icon. That's Cricut telling us, please load your mat, okay? So press the mat evenly against the rollers, and then press that button. It's gonna receive the mat. It's gonna take a minute to align the mat, scan the length of the mat, all that stuff. So it'll go in and out once, okay? And then once it does that, it's gonna start flashing the Cricut C or the Cricut Play icon, depending on which model you have, When you press that button, it's going to proceed with the print and cut process and the writing. So I think it does the writing first. So let's see what happens. We'll do the play icon in my case, or it's Cricut C icon. Now with print and cut, before it does any actual action, it's scanning. So you'll see a little light underneath the machine, and it has a sensor. It's scanning the 4 corners of those registration marks that were printed, and that's how Cricut knows where to cut on the map to cut our cards or our gift tags out. So it usually takes about 30 seconds, 45 seconds to do the scanning. If you ever have difficulty getting this to read and you get a pop-up that says, can't read registration marks, and you're looking at it and you're like, they printed fine, there's nothing with the ink that's smeared, it could be your lighting. That's usually what I run into. So if you're kind of working in a darker environment, it's nighttime, maybe you don't have like a lot of light over your Cricut area, try shining some light on it. It usually helps. Questions?
What is the shelf life of Cricut pens? There's been a lot of that.
That's a good question. Let me answer that in just a second. Cricut has finished scanning the registration marks. It is now writing with the pen. So it's doing the writing action first, okay? It's writing my name on all of that. Yeah, okay. I was like, just making sure. So the life of a Cricut pen, that's kind of a heavy question, but I will tell you, let me answer it by telling you my experience, okay? I have a bunch of pens on my wall back here. I have had most of those pens for over 5.5 years. Now, I do not do a ton of writing, so I will say that. I do very small amounts of writing. But your pen will pretty much last as long as it has ink. So if you write a lot, well then, yeah, you're going to run out of ink and you'll have to replace them sooner. But if you don't write that much, they last a really long time. And if you want to make sure your pen is always in best condition possible to pop into your machine and write, always store them with the tips down. When I first started many years ago, I would store them upright because I wanted all the pretty colors to stick out of the top more. There was just more color going on at the top than there was at the bottom. And so I was like, oh, let's flip them that way. But then all the ink drags to the bottom of the pen and not the tip where you want it to be. So store them tip down. So let me know if that helps answer that question. Cricut is now done writing and it's cutting around our gift tag. Did she lock herself in the room?
No.
Libby went into one of the kids' rooms. She get into something. I'm losing my voice. All right. Moderator has stepped out. I promise if you have a question, we're getting to it. So in the meantime, this is done cutting, okay? And now we have the double arrow flashing button. It's flashing again. And that's telling us to release this map, okay? So when we press that, it'll release the map. Just like that, okay? So I'm gonna set that out for a minute. Make sure if you're done with your pen that you pull it out of clamp A by opening that, pull it straight up, okay? Put the tip back on, and then put it with the tip down in a container, okay? Questions? Do you always move do you always move the rollers out of the way when you do print and cut? That's a good question. I don't. So these little white rollers right here, I don't touch them. Generally, the white rollers, if they need to be moved, will be prompted by Cricut in Design Space. It'll say you need to move the rollers. Most of the time, the rollers only need to be used if moved. I talk a million miles an hour, guys. Like I just own it, okay? Most of the time, the white rollers only need to be moved if you're doing a thicker material, like you have a maker or you're cutting wood or maybe like faux leather that's thicker. Like it's usually that case. Don't hold me to that on every account, but Cricut will generally prompt you in Design Space, okay? Anything else?
No, there's some good tips that people are passing along as far as.
Oh, cool. Thank you guys for like being game players. I love when people come in and don't just ask questions, but they share in the comments too, because like our collective knowledge is so much better all together, right? Okay, So we have our tags. So here's the satisfying part. Now, if you're wanting to pull your material off your mat without creating a lot of curl, you're going to want to flip the mat face down. So I'm going to bring you back down here real quick. So flip the mat face down and then curl the mat away from the material. Don't crease it, just curl it, okay? All right, so there's that piece that came off. And just to show you real quick, you can see, I think you can see a little bit. It's kind of hard because the colors are light. But you can sort of see the blue right there, the yellow, the blue. That's the bleed, okay? It added extra color around the edging so that it had edge-to-edge color results once it was cut, okay? It gives it like a margin. That way it doesn't have to be so perfect that there's a white line left behind or a white like margin left behind on some of the edges, okay? So let me flip this back over and pull these off.
Somebody is asking, can you use Cricut joy pins as a Cricut maker?
No, not unless you found an adapter that allows you to do so, but I have yet to discover one. So the reason is because the pens are quite a different like size. So let's see. I don't think I have a. Oh, there we go. So different size, different thickness. Like, let me try it because I haven't tried it in forever. I could be wrong. I'm sitting here saying stuff. I'm like, let me test it because I haven't done it in a while. Possible I've forgotten. Let's see. We'll find out that way. Yeah, no, it doesn't go in. Okay, so I thought this one's too thick. So unless you get a pen adapter that somehow allows this to work, and I don't think you can because it's too big already. Like you have to like you could pop the adapter out here and put a different pen adapter in it, and then it might let you do it. But aside from having like a third-party pen adapter, then no. All right, so we get our tags. Yay, look at our results. They're pretty. Pretty. So there's happy birthday ones, handmade with love, thank you. And then I also include some that are like blank up here. So if you wanted to write a different message up here in Design Space, you could. For those of you who are wondering, the font that I used here, if you're wanting to type this out in Design Space and then flatten it together, this is called Beautiful Wildflower. There's a link in the description of the video. It's from Creative Fabrica. And it's a duo font, meaning it has a script version and it has like a more traditional print version. Okay, just for those of you who want to know that. So what questions do we have at this point about our gift tags? Let me know. And then of course, to finish these off, ribbon, baker's twine, whatever you want. I think some gold baker's twine would look really pretty. I would just get the baker's twine and like cut however long. I always cut more than I need. But grab your scissors and trim a piece off. And then I would bring the two ends together like this and put the two ends through the hole. Not like that though. That's the slope fall. Okay. I cut a little too short actually. Two ends through the hole and then pull the two ends to form a loop. Like that. Okay. And then you could tie this onto a gift bag package or skip this all together and just like tape it on. So like if you have a gift package and you want to put a bow on it and you just want to put a little piece of tape underneath there, you could do it that way too. By the way, for the Gift Fest, who's excited for the Gift Fest? So don't throw away paper scraps, guys. I have a workshop on how to make handmade bows. This is a handmade bow with your paper scraps. Okay, that's what I did here. So make sure you join me for that workshop. Questions, comments, thoughts?
People are excited. People are loving the tags.
Yay! So excited. All right, so let me see. We'll keep monitoring for questions.
What was the name of the font again?
It was,
So I can type it.
yeah, it's Beautiful Wildflower. The link is in the YouTube video description. So if you are watching this on YouTube, which is the only place we're streaming, then if you look in the video description, which should be below the video somewhere, or maybe off to the side if you're on a mobile device, you'll see a bunch of information. And it's one of the pieces of information in there. It's an actual link you can click on. That way you don't have to try and search it yourself. Okay, what am I missing? Because I know I have more things to share. Okay, so If you guys haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, we are like this close to 100,000 subscribers. Would you just give it a subscribe and maybe turn on the notifications so that when we go live and we have new videos, you get notified? I really appreciate your support. Like I said, we're a family-owned business. My husband works for me full time. So this is what we do to provide for our family, and your support means everything. So thank you so much. Alrighty, I'm gonna do some giveaways in just a minute. We are gonna be kicking off the Giftfest, obviously, on Monday. That is tomorrow. Tomorrow, we are kicking off the Giftfest. We have so many amazing workshops. We have over 50 workshops. We've got incredible speakers. I couldn't even begin to name all of our speakers. You guys know a lot of them. You're in a lot of their communities. We got Amy Romeo, we got Jennifer Baker, we got Courtney Brickard. We got so many amazing people. So please join us. Check out our schedule page. If you're watching this and you haven't got your ticket yet, abbykirsenscraftfest.com, and make sure you got your ticket, okay? I also want to mention our sponsors, guys. So we have some amazing sponsors. 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. They are my go-to source for cardstock material. You guys know I am like a paper craft queen person over here. I just love paper crafts. Make sure you check out 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. They are awesome. Creative Fabrica, as I mentioned, for the font that I featured for this design that I did. They are awesome for fonts and other designs as well. I'm sorry, babe, can you put that back up real quick?
Nope.
It was sort of helping me. Create Room. Who loves Dreambox? I have a Dreambox. The Dreambox 2 has been out for a while, and I absolutely adore it for storage and organization needs. And by the way, guys, every single one of these sponsors on here, if you go to abbykirsenscraftfest.com/sponsors, they have freebies and discounts for you. Literally, you don't have to do anything except go there and check them out. Like, there's coupons and savings and freebies waiting on that page for you. So make sure you go and check them out and show them some love. Paper Planner Club, Mim, one of my BFFs. She is amazing. If you like sticker making, if you want more on print and cut process, if you own a Silhouette, she also does things with Cricut and Silhouette. Go follow her. You're going to love it because she has amazing stickers, and she shares all the ins and outs of that. So make sure you go show our sponsors some love. They mean the world to us. Okay, questions?
Gotta go back now.
All right. Love your dream bags.
Holy cow, I can't keep up with all that.
Oh wow, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm trying to help you. We're looking, guys. Oh, you guys are so welcome. Thank you. It means so much. Like I always dread like being live, not because I don't love being with you guys, but it's just like, putting yourself out there is always a big thing. I'm an introvert by nature, so having to hold the entire conversation is like what? But getting to see your responses, it energizes me so much, and I love it. So thank you so much. Yes, and the giveaways, we're doing giveaways. I can't believe I didn't put that link in there. So just go to abbykirsenscraftfest.com/giveaways-3. There are dozens of giveaways on that page, including a dream box, a Cricut Maker 3, a bunch of supplies and materials. If you haven't entered, go and do that as well. These speakers and sponsors are very generous. Don't miss out on that, okay? Who on here has the VIP Access Pass? Just raise your hand. Tell me something you love about it. I'm curious how many people are joining us. It's okay if you don't. I know some of us just need to cling to that free ticket. I get it. I appreciate it. That's why we do these events, to spread the joy of creativity and creating with confidence. So, but I would love to know how many of you here have your VIP Pass. We have so many people. It's so exciting. You guys are so nice. Thank you. I have warm and fuzzies now. See, I wasn't feeling myself this morning. I was like, oh, I'm so tired. I don't do this. And then I showed up. So one of my mantras is clarity comes through action. So clarity, sometimes energy, comes through taking actions. Showed up, and you guys delivered too. So thank you so much. The VIP Access Pass, we have so many amazing people who already have it. Totally. a lot. Yay! Yay! If you don't have it yet, as you can see, we have lots of people who love it. But the early bird price is expiring tonight at midnight Eastern Standard Time. So if you're on the fence and you're like, I kind of want it, or I didn't know I could get that, the VIP Pass, it gives you lifetime access to all of the Giftfest workshops. And we have hundreds of dollars worth of bonuses that are only for our pass holders. So downloads, cheat sheets, ebooks, mini courses, membership trials, like it goes on and on and on and on. But those bonuses are only for VIP pass holders, which is one of the main reasons why people love buying the pass, is the bonuses and then the lifetime access to all the videos. You don't have to worry about cramming it all in the week of the event or during those free 24-hour periods. But the early bird price does expire tonight. So make sure you go grab that. Can you put that link up there on the ticker bib so that they can see it?
Yep.
Thank you. It's in the video description if you're wanting to pass, if you're someone who's asking. It's in the video description. My husband's putting the ticker up on the screen too. If you want to actually type in the URL, you can go and check that out there. Okay, so we have some giveaways to do, but I'm going to inhale, exhale, and make sure we don't have any other questions real quick. Lots of you are just being so sweet. Yay! Thank you so much. Can I watch this video in entirety later? Yes, Rose, you absolutely can. This video is not going anywhere. This isn't something we're going to like take down after 24 hours. This is our kickoff video and a craft, a fun craft to get to do with you guys. So absolutely process now, come back later, follow along, enjoy, scrub through all of my chatter in between. All right. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to come hang out with you guys more often because this is really fun. Speaking of lives, so I haven't done this in my past events. For those of you who follow me a lot, I've done a lot of events, but I'm actually doing another live this coming week. We have all of our workshops that are happening. I'm teaching the bow workshop that I told you about, which was so example here. I'm teaching a kimono gift wrapping as well, and let me just show you. I'm teaching a photo shadow box gift shop as well. This is like a baby photo example here. So these are happening at the Giftfest, but I decided let's add a fourth. Is that fourth? Is that maybe 4 workshops? Yeah, let's add a 4th because why not? I have all the time in the world. You do. I do. So paper gardenias. Who wants to make these with me? I'm going to be doing a live workshop on Wednesday for them, and there'll be more information that'll go out in the emails for all of you who are on the list to get the emails for the Giftfest and the daily links. You'll get the link. Don't worry. Actually, if you go over to our live section on my YouTube channel, you'll see it there. So we'll make these live together on Wednesday. So I usually don't do live workshops during the event. They're all on demand because that helps people be able to watch them on their own time, avoids tech issues, all of that stuff. But I thought, let's do another live because it's fun. You guys are so much fun. And the more I do them, the more I want to do more of them, which is great because I like forming connections with you guys. So anyways, we're going to be doing that. I'll even show you how I sort of wrapped it in this little cone because I think it makes a lovely gift for somebody. Gift. All right. So I think did I miss anything in our sheet or should I just go ahead with the giveaways? I know the comments are really fast. Just do your best.
Yeah.
How do we sign up for the giveaways? So we're going to do some random giveaways here in just a minute. If you want to look at all the giveaways for the events, you're going to go to abbyhirschenscraftfest.com, and right up at the top, you're going to see in the menu bar, it'll say giveaways. Just click on that, and it shows you the whole page of giveaways there. Okay? So much to learn. Yes. And the Christmas bundle. Yay. Who got the Christmas bundle? That was something I added on, and so many people jumped on it. So I have a Christmas bundle that you can add on to the VIP pass if you want, and yeah, we got a lot of response to that one, so I was really excited about that. It's got giant paper snowflakes in it, and giant poinsettias, and small ones, and table arrangements. So much fun. You can just talk about it all day long. But you guys want the giveaway, right? Okay, let's do the giveaway. Thank you guys. Okay, so we're gonna do the Joy Machine. My daughter threw her T-shirt. She walks in, she throws like laundry in here. What? Is this a stage that kids go through? Is it a stage where it's like, somebody tells me, because I mean, my kids are 10 and 11, right? But it's like, put your clothes away, they know to put their clothes away. And she's like, no, I'll just throw them in your craft room, or I'll throw them on the couch, or I'll stuff my socks in the couch. And then, is this like a stage? Does it stop? Does it ever stop? All right. Okay, so honey, we talked about it last night. We talked about it this morning. And we did not come up with a solution to our prompt for our giveaway. Got any ideas?
What should be the topic for the next live?
Outside of the Gardenias?
Yeah.
Okay, so like I said, I'm going to be in California the week after next, so I won't be able to do a live until a little further into October. But if you want to do another live in October, if you want to enter to win the original Joy with the materials here, there's just a bunch of vinyl and transfer tape. If you want to win this, tell me in the comments. What was it? Oh, yes. Tell me in the comments what you want to see, some sort of project. You can be as specific as you want, what you want to see at one of our lives in October. So I really appreciate the feedback in my community, because if it's something you want to see as an individual, chances are others might want to see it. And it helps sort of round out my ideas on what I create and share for you guys. So do you have any ideas? Like, I'm assuming plenty of people are going to have ideas here, but shadow boxes. We could do some other sort of paper flower. We could do something lantern-based, table decorations, something for the holidays. We could do T-shirts. Oh my gosh, we could do a million different things. Any ideas? Any ideas? My for some reason my feed stopped scrolling. I think it got overwhelmed.
Yeah, we're
Cards. Ooh, lilacs. I think I saw lilacs somewhere in there before the screen changed on me. Christmas cards. Okay. Ornament cards. Ornament cards. Like that. I'm going to come back and take notes. All right, so I'm going to give everyone a second to answer that question. Miss Christabella, do you want to choose the winner? I don't think she's coming. Last chance, Ella. You coming?
Tiny legs.
She says, geez, I have tiny legs. Give me a minute. All right. Sorry. Go over to Daddy. He's got it. He's going to help you pick out the winner. He'll show you all the comments. You guys are going to randomly scroll through and then just pick somebody randomly, okay? They're telling us all their ideas for upcoming projects. You guys are now going to keep me busy for 3 years. That's a good thing. All right, so they are scrolling randomly. I'm going to pick somebody. So in addition to the Joy, which also comes with a little starter kit of tools, and then we've got several vinyls as well, and some trans tape. So that will go to one person. Yes, you can enter if you're international. We'll cover that. Don't worry. Okay. All right. You guys got somebody yet?
Yep.
Sherry Thompson. Sherry Thompson, congratulations. You're the winner. If you could please send us an email with your shipping information, Sherry Thompson, to hello@abbeykirstencollections.com. If you could, when you get a second, they'd put that contact info up there so she knows. Send us an email at hello@abbeykirstencollections.com, and we will facilitate getting this shipped out to you. Congratulations. We are going to also do some VIP pass giveaways too, because that's just what I've always done, and you can't break from tradition. Yes. Piece of paper. You need a piece of paper. You didn't come prepared.
I did not.
You didn't come prepared. Don't worry, we got you. All right. So let's see. We need another prompt for giveaways. Have you guys, I think most of you have, but if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, could you do that right now as part of just this next giveaways for the VIP pass? Just make sure you're subscribed. I know a lot of you already are, so it's fine if you already are. But if you aren't, we'd love if you could please subscribe. Okay, so I've got a prompt. Sorry. My daughter is trying to help Daddy get a piece of paper, and it's kind of comical. Okay. So I'm trying to think of a prompt, honey. Help me. Okay, tell me. Okay, I'm going to make this really dumb and simple, okay? But you have one? Yeah, we kind of already did that, babe. That's a good idea, but we kind of already did that. Okay, so how about you guys tell me, it flew out of my brain. What is your favorite Thanksgiving recipe? Just tell me the name of your favorite Thanksgiving recipe, okay? Because then I'm going to go and Google them, and we're going to have all these new things for Thanksgiving. Obviously, there's the traditional things. I'll tell you one of mine. I have, for those of you who don't know me, I have celiac disease, so I can't have anything with gluten or wheat. I get very, very ill. And so making stuffing is hard. And we actually found gluten-free cornbread that makes cornbread stuffing, and it tastes so much better than the original stuffing that I used to have. So we make cornbread stuffing, and that's really good, and the kids love it. And it's actually a little sweet. So tell me your favorite recipes. It can be a dessert, it can be a entree, a side dish, whatever. I'm curious. And I'm going to pick 5 people to get the VIP pass. If you've already purchased the pass, we will refund you. Okay? So even if you purchased it, play along. And if you get picked, you get a refund. Yay. Mashed potatoes. Ooh. Banana cream pie. Ooh, sweet potato casserole with marshmallows. That's a good one. My mom would make sweet potatoes, like a sweet potato casserole, and she wouldn't put marshmallows on it, but she would always do like brown sugar and chopped pecans and butter, like it was like a crumble on top or whatever, or a streusel, yeah. And she would put that on top of it instead. And it was more like dessert than it was actually a side dish, but she would always serve it as a side dish. So of course, like as a kid, that's like what you're scooping onto your plate.
Some more.
Oh, more?
You're giving away 5.
5. Are you writing the names down as you go?
Yeah.
Okay. So here, yeah. Why don't you just call them out as you write? That way I can call them out.
Christy or.
Hold
on, this is a long name.
It's a long name.
Christy or Petrolowitz.
Christy or Petrolowitz. We're butchering your name, Christy, but you know who you are if we just said that to you. Ella, don't lean on the table, honey. Ella, don't lean on the table. Please reach out to us at hello@abbykirstencollections.com. We will get your account set up for you or refund you if you already purchased. What's the name?
Mary Madden.
Mary Madden, you're number 2. Congratulations, Mary. All right, we need 3 more.
Come on out. We don't have all things. Where? Okay. Ada Rosa.
Ada Rosa. Ada Rosa. That's what I'm hearing. Congratulations. Ooh, my birthday cake. Your birthday must be around then.
My birthday's around. Ooh, we'll do this one.
Jello salad. We had Jello last night. My kids had Jello for the first time, not out of a container, but actually made. Random side note.
That said apple pie gluten.
Apple pie gluten free.
Terry Defoe.
Terry Defoe. Congratulations, Terry. Was that 4 that we've done?
Yep.
Okay, 1 more. Randomly pick somebody. You're being very deliberate.
Lynn Fongsan.
What is it, Glenn?
Lynn
Oh, Lynn.
Fongsan.
Lynn Fong San?
Yep.
Lynn Fong San? Okay, Lynn Fong San. I never forget a face, but I am terrible with names. Terrible. I learned this trick, though, that if you meet somebody for the first time and you're bad with names like me, assign them a superpower, and their superpower starts with the letter of their first name. And it like does something in your brain and it helps you remember their name. So yeah, if you're creative like me, and a lot of you are, that was a little tip I learned. But I've already forgotten the names. At least my husband wrote them down. So if you want a VIP pass, go ahead and email us and we will get that set up for you or refunded if you've already purchased. Thank you guys so much for joining me. My voice is about to die on me. You guys are so sweet. Any pie that's homemade. Abby's favorite dessert. That's so sweet. It's so sweet. Okay. I don't even know what my favorite. What is my favorite? I do like cake. I just like vanilla cake. Get all butter cake. So we're gonna be kicking off the Giftfest tomorrow. Make sure you keep an eye on your inbox. That's where the links are gonna come. And then you can join me Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time back here on YouTube for our live gardenia flower workshop. And I'll show you how to put it in these little cones so you can give it as a gift to somebody. If you guys have other questions, we'll try to go back through the feed and make sure we didn't miss anything major. Rewatch the replay. It's going to be up for you to enjoy, so no major rush. All right. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you go download the files. If you haven't gotten the VIP pass, get it before tonight. I don't want you to have to spend more money next week when it goes up. Save your money for crafting supplies. Okay, guys. Can everybody say a big thank you to my husband for moderating? He's so sweet. Okay, you guys are already on top of it. You're my people. You're my people. You're so nice. So nice. All right, guys. Thank you so much. You all are so sweet. Okay, I will see you guys on Wednesday then. And of course for the Giftfest. Thank you. Bye-bye.